Hello and welcome to this week's video. We are going to be talking about the topic of creating a unique personal leadership plan. So welcome wherever you may be watching from. You can drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. So why a personal leadership plan? Personal leadership branding is becoming increasingly important in today's competitive marketplace. It allows individuals to differentiate themselves, from others by showcasing their unique combination of skills, their experiences, their values, presenting themselves in a way that is memorable and compelling. So a personal leadership plan should include topics like identifying one's leadership style, developing your own individual plan for success as a leader. How do you set your goals? Which goals do you set? How do you make the decisions? How do you cultivate relationships with key stakeholders? Creating a personal leadership brand can also help you as an individual to establish your reputation. You will be known as this person who does things in this specific manner. It can help you to increase your visibility and your credibility. When you develop a consistent and authentic personal leadership plan, which will be your brand, you can stand out in an increasingly overcrowded digital landscape, and you can be able to build strong personal and professional identity, which will be able to align with your personal and your career goals. All right, so this is something that I want to talk about in this video. I want to give a comprehensive, just tips and ideas about how you can go about crafting this individual plan. How would you identify your goals, set benchmarks and milestones? You'll be able to gain insight on how you can develop your own leadership plans, and which you should tailor to your own unique circumstances. You'll learn that it's important to stay motivated in order to be able to overcome obstacles along your way and be able to get success in your life. So this is what we are talking about this week. Very interesting. So who am I? For those who don't know me, my name is Triza Akuka. I'm the lead coach at Pinnacle Executive Coaching. In Pinnacle Executive Coaching, I have a framework. I have a circle I call the Dare to Lead Circle, where I look at four main things. Number one is to discover. When you talk about dare, we want you to discover. It's a deep dive awareness blueprint that dares you to discover what is really the underlying issue that is interfering with your leadership potential. And this we do through the use of 360-degree assessments from the leadership circle. So a very analytical tool that can help you to unmask what is hindering your effective leadership potential. And then we go to affirm. In my affirm, I talk about building an authoritative performance accelerator plan. This is to dare you to just recognize and affirm your strengths and be able to use them to propel yourself to an authoritative performance. Then we look at recognize. How are you able to dare to recognize your options that you have, which will help you to overcome your interferences and enable you to scale your leadership? Once you've been able to identify your weaknesses, the areas you need to work on in your leadership, we give you a versatile leadership toolkit that helps you through coaching sessions to be able to unmask your unconscious biases and be able to be empowered to have several options to overcome any interferences. And then lastly, we look at evolve. How can you have an impact and legacy strategy? We dare you to rise to an empowered state where you can be able to review yourself, review your team, review your organization or business, and create impact that not only fulfills your purposes for today, but leaves a legacy. So that's what we do at Pinnacle Executive Coaching. You're free to reach out even for further engagements. So let's go back to our topic today. We want to help you to come up with a personal leadership brand. One of the main things that you will need and discover that you want to do is to be able to clearly identify your goals and values. Identifying goals and values is a vital part of the process when it comes to effective goal setting. When you know what matters the most to you and how those values can be translated into tangible objectives. This will ensure that the goals that you set are both meaningful and achievable. You have to remember that values don't necessarily have to be static. Not just when you're setting goals, but you have to, when you set objectives, you have always to bear in mind that they should reflect who you are and what matters most to you. Okay, once your values and objectives have been identified, you have to start breaking them into smaller goals and milestones. This is what I overall want to achieve in 2023. But what do I want to have achieved by end of quarter 1, by end of quarter 2, by end of quarter 3, by end of quarter 4? Then what do I want to achieve per month? Then what do I want to achieve per week? Then once you have manageable objective, when you break down the large, often intimidating tasks into smaller chunks, they help you to get a process that is less overwhelming. It allows you to stay on track. You're able to achieve better results and therefore get to actually achieve that goal for which you have set, so that we don't go by the popular memes that go flying around that you set objectives or things that you wanted to do at the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year nothing has been ticked off the box. As leaders, we have to do better. So it's important to remember that you need to take your time to tackle issues so that you don't become overwhelmed and frustrated. When you take the time to properly plan out your objectives, you will ensure that you'll have all the resources that you need to make them happen, as well as you'll be able to check if they are reasonable, realistic, and achievable, and it will increase your chances of success, and therefore you can be able to come up with what you actually call meaningful goals that are actually viable and will set you up for success. The other thing that we need to look at when you're setting up a leadership plan for yourself in order to brand how you'll appear in the world is you have to set benchmarks and milestones. Okay, setting benchmarks and milestones is an important part of any project, whether it's a big project, whether it's a small project. Benchmarks are usually a way to measure your progress against predetermined goals. Milestones help you to track the completion of tasks over the life course of a project. So it's essential for your teams to be able to set up realistic and achievable goals and for you yourself in order to be able to assess your success. When you also have clear communication and agreement amongst team members or members in your organization, you will be able to evaluate and know where you are at any given time. So one thing you have to do is to be flexible. You have to keep in mind that there can be changes over the course of a project. New challenges might come up which you might not have envisaged. New opportunities can also arise. So it's good to be open-minded so that you can be able to revise your project when these changes come along. Regularly checking in on the progress will help you to stay on track, identify areas which need improvement, which need acceleration, which need to be totally removed actually even from the project, and therefore you'll be able to make sure that you finish on time and within your budget. So setting up benchmarks and milestones will always keep you also motivated, because as you strive to achieve your goals, you'll be able to know where you are at particular time and where you're going and what you need to be able to do to assess your success. The third thing that we need to do is to just create that customized plan for success. Creating a customized plan for success is an important part of any project. You have to have a clearly defined and achievable timeline, the budget, the resources, the goals that align with the overall vision. I know when you talk about vision, sometimes and budget, people usually tend to, you don't want something that costs you, but I'm telling you, there's nothing significant that will come in unless you are able to invest. If it's personal development, you'll have to pay a coach, buy books, create time, and time is money, to be able to develop yourself. Whatever thing that you want to do to brand yourself. If someone who is, let's say, in media, like on public speaking, let's say like Oprah, she has created hours and hours and hours. When you look at just one single production she does, it's a lot of work behind the scenes to be able to just give a talk, a conversation with one of her subjects who come to the interview. So you have to spend time and money, and you should be able to plan for those resources. So whenever you are thinking about what will be needed, fully look at everything you need, the costings, and then it will be also to be an advantage to you if you're able to set up a system of accountability with clearly defined roles and responsibilities amongst all the involved parties. So if let's say you're starting out yourself as a personal development, you can get a coach and pay them to be able to keep you on track and to be accountable, so that when you say I'm working on this thing, you can be able to come back with a report and say, yes, I did A, I did B, and this is where I am. So having a well-constructed plan for success is essential in order to be able to eventually achieve the success that you want, and ensure that all aspects of your project are managed effectively. The other thing is that once now you kick in motion, you have to stay motivated and focused. When it comes to staying motivated and focused, there are a few things that can help. Once you have your clear goals, objectives, and you have been able to chunk it into smaller pieces, you can be able to focus to be able to ensure that you're always on target. One thing that I find quite a number of leaders don't do is set regular awards or incentives for themselves. This is something that is very important in helping to maintain motivation. We know we do it for others. We set targets and bonuses for people, let's say in our teams. When they succeed, we're able to give them. But you yourself as a leader, what are you giving yourself as a reward or an incentive for having achieved what you have set out to do? Please do it, because it sends a signal to your whole body that because I am also working to get this reward and incentive, then I have to push myself to be able to get it. So please do that, and surround yourself with people who are supportive, who have similar goals as you, who can be able to give you the energy and the focus to stay on track. If you have an understanding of why something is important and necessary, then it helps you to keep your energy and motivation levels up throughout the process. So please do this so that you can stay motivated and focused throughout. Then you realize that once you're going through the motions of the project, obstacles come up, and you have to navigate your way through these obstacles in order to get the success. So success is constant. It requires consistent effort. If there's anything that I would just mention here, is consistency. It's always overwhelming to maintain track, but if you just walk carefully, watching every step that you're going, but keep moving forward, eventually you cross that ridge and overcome the fires that have come up upon your way. So sometimes some of the obstacles is just procrastination. Sometimes it's a lack of self-confidence. Sometimes it's the fear of failure. You're seeing it's just not working, and then you just want to give up. So all this can discourage you from taking the necessary steps towards success, but you have to focus on the end goal, remain motivated, and just seek help when you see an obstacle is not something that you can be able to figure out, but stay consistent on the course, stay organized, prioritize your most important tasks, and then you'll be able to overcome the challenges, and you will be able to know and get to the end. With hard work and determination, there is nothing impossible. So keep away from people who will discourage you. Seek help and support when you need, but keep taking that step to the next level until you are able to get to your success. So just in summary, what are the things that you really need to look at if we are looking at everything we have discussed? We've said set measurable goals. The goals should be SMART. They should be time bound, they should be realistic, but they should be also be challenging enough to keep you motivated. Number 2, you have to be accountable. Accountable to yourself. You can also look for accountability partners externally so that you can keep track of your progress as you work towards your goal and be able to stay on track. Build a support system. It's very important to surround yourself with people who can give you guidance and encouragement as you work around your goals. Find mentors, find a coach you can share their knowledge and experience, and or become part of a professional network, join a study group, whatever it does. Make sure you always are in a support environment. Stay focused. Things will come up, distractions will come up, but set time to focus on the leadership plan without any interferences or interruptions. Celebrate success. Like we've said, give yourself an incentive, give yourself a reward so that you can stay motivated and on track. Obstacles will come, but what should you do in case you fail? Learn from the failure. Don't be discouraged by setbacks or mistakes. These are invaluable lessons that you have learned that shape you or your leadership plan going forward. Acknowledge what went wrong, refocus, then move forward with a renewed enthusiasm. Always reflect and refine. Take stock of your progress, reflect what you can improve, learn from your failures and your successes, adjust to any changing circumstances. Maybe you might come across something new which will accelerate your plan. Adjust and move with it so that you stay focused on achieving your goals. Be flexible. Whenever a situation calls for flexibility, don't be rigid, flex, but make sure you are staying on track towards achieving your goals. Have fun in the process. Let it not be just a core tedious thing that you're doing, Enjoy the journey. Find meaning in the work that you're doing. Approach each day with a sense of enthusiasm and curiosity, and take time to recognize the accomplishments, the lessons, the connections that you have made along the way, even as you work on your project. And this is where, when you actually are doing something that is meaningful to your life purpose, it really makes you get alive, because you know that at the end of the day, you have actually contributed to change in the society and you are creating your legacy. Persevere. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Whenever you're faced with anything, just be resilient and push yourself to keep going. Remember, it always takes hard work and dedication to achieve success. So stay focused on your goals, no matter what challenges come your way. But when you map out that plan and you are able to work on it with commitment, you will always get to where you want to be. So, as we wrap up, creating a leadership personal brand will help you as a person to be able to establish your reputation. It will increase your visibility. It will increase your credibility. You can be able to create platforms for networking, career growth, business development. If you consistently develop a consistent, authentic personal brand, you'll be able to stand out, and you'll be able to be recognized. There are some examples we know of people who have created that personal brand over the years, like Oprah. I've mentioned her before. Her personal brand is just built around her unique perspective, an empathetic approach, and a commitment to empower people. And being consistent to just those three things. Have a unique perspective about a situation, about someone's experience, about someone's life, and just being empathetic in the way you approach, always helping, always understanding that person, has helped her to just be a real talk show host who is recognized globally. Someone like Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. Visionary thinking, as in, if you're just thinking of someone who is thinking beyond limits, beyond barriers, an entrepreneurial spirit, a passion for innovation. What is that thing that we have not imagined before we could do? Let's break that barrier and go for it. So what are you thinking about yourself when you're seeing yourself as a leader? What do you want people to say that, for me, Peter, this is, when people just hear Peter is my name, they think about this aspect: authenticity, courageousness, passion to build others, passion to do what, there's so many things. I know you have it in your heart. Think about it, think how you can map it and develop it. So I would just say that when you're creating and implementing your personal leadership plan and seek how to brand yourself, it is essential. This is just a very basic essential that you need to achieve in any field. If you have the right goals, you get a supportive network, you have an unwavering dedication, you have to remain committed to the cause, it will be possible for you to realize your dreams. So take time now, map out your plan, get in touch with me and let me know if you need any assistance, any coaching on that. And I look forward to hearing what will come out of it. So thank you so much for listening. As I said, if you have any question, please reach out to me from my social media websites on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, or drop me an email or drop a comment even in this video. So please share the video, like it, subscribe if you have not yet, and see you next week. Thank you.